Hey guys, welcome back to another Weekly Winners, the series where I share with you guys the first place winning deck lists in Pokemon Pocket within this past week. And today, we've got a bunch of spicy, new and somewhat old decks, starting with the first one today, which has 11 first place winning deck lists, and that is Silvally Rampardos. Now, when I played this deck and uploaded a video the first time ever, I was on vacation. I didn't know that this was going to be the deck. I just thought this was a fun deck, really. And it turns out a bunch of other people also thought the same thing. This was going to be a very meta strong deck because Type Null and Silvally just work. Not only do you get access to supporter cards that boost your damage output up to 100, but you have access to every supporter card that essentially does that for Silvally. And on top of that, in a fossil deck, you're guaranteed to start with Type Null and then get your Skull Fossil on the bench, evolve into Rampardos with a rare candy, and you have a strong finisher in the back line. Honestly, I'm sick of seeing this deck on ranked, and I'm sure you guys are too, but man, is it consistent and strong. What do you guys think? Next up is Darkrai and Giratina, and this thing surprisingly is still up there with 8 wins. 8 first place wins within the past week. And the only really difference to this deck list is the subtle inclusion of a Nihilego or 2 in a few deck variants. But other than that, I guess you can also say the Poison Barbs. But other than that, it's all still relatively the same. The idea is you generate psychic energy with your Giratina on the bench, you attach energy onto your Darkrai, chip damage, and now you have the added bonus of dealing Poison Tick damage with Poison Barb and your Nihilego. We also have some Pokemon centered ladies. That sounds so weird. They're Nurse Joys. And of course, a red card. However, a little side note, I believe Darkrai and Giratina are starting to go down. So this time next week, we might actually start seeing 1 or less first place winning deck lists that are Darkrai Giratina. That's just a bold statement right here. I'm throwing that out there. I might be wrong. I typically am. Now let's talk about the Charizard EX, aka Steamzard deck list that just won a first place tournament, and it was spectacular. This is running Charmander or Charmeleon and 2 Steamzards, but that's not all. They're also running Silvally and Type Null. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't see it. I don't see why this works, but it does. It's fantastic. There's a lot of supporter cards that activate Silvally's ability, or not ability, but move effect, Brave Buddies, to deal more damage. But I feel like you would want to really just get your Charmander online, evolve it into Charizard, and then ramp it up with Stoke. But I guess, yeah, Silvally works. I'm excited to test this out. I've thought of, Silvally, Blacephalon. I'm sure you guys have seen that a lot. But Charizard EX with Silvally is definitely a spicy cook, and it's taking this week's winners by storm, with at least 6 first place winning deck lists. Next up, let's go to a Buzzwole EX with 5 winning deck lists, and this is honestly a staple. This for Buzzwole decks, you're running your double Celesteelas, your double Buzzwoles. The difference here is there's a single Kartana with 2 Pheromosas. Sometimes you see 1 Kartana, 1 Pheromosa, but typically both, maybe even no Kartana. The Pheromosa is very good just to apply extra damage onto the board. But another really cool addition to this deck that I feel like we should see more of, I'm just personal opinion here, is Beastite. Especially if you start getting that early damage and the snowball of winning points. Beastite can come in handy. You have 2 points on the board, you get your Buzzwole online, you don't even need a red. Give it a Beastite instead of a Leaf Cape and you're smacking them with a big beat of 140. It's insane. And then of course, at this point, I feel like you guys understand Celesteela's I was going to say hip thrusters, ultra thrusters ability, where it can just reset Big B by pulling it back and sending it back in. But on top of that, we have Louisamine. The issue I have with this card is your opponent needs a point in order for you to use this card. Very good trade-off because it's a strong card, but like there's a lot of times where I made that mistake. I don't think any first place winning deck lists are making that mistake, but I'm just saying if you're playing Louisamine, you have to be careful of when you're planning on activating that. But they do have a Mars, because that was my second thing, is like having some sort of disruption makes a lot of sense. But yeah, 5 first place winning deck lists this week with Buzzwole. Fantastic job. Let's keep the 5s going with Solgaleo and Shiinotic, another really fun deck list that honestly just works. Solgaleo EX is terrifying for 2 reasons. It smacks you for 120 for only 2 energy, plus it just brings itself to the active spot with the ability Rising Road. Throw this into a deck list that helps you thin your deck like Shiinotic, and honestly, the only way you lose is if you brick. And I can deal with that. I have been enjoying playing this because I feel like I'm winning way more than I'm losing because I just find all my cards. Unless my rare candy is at the bottom of my deck, which happened in this past weekend's tournament. Oh my god, that was so frustrating. But anyway, as long as that doesn't happen, you're pretty much solid. So yeah, fantastic deck. I love this. Shiinotic is here to stay. I'm so excited for future sets and Shiinotic. And here is the final 5 first place winning deck list, not the final deck list of this video, just the final 5 variants first place winning deck lists that revolved around Zeraora, Oricorio, and Magnezone, which you're probably thinking, that's kind of counterintuitive. Like Zeraora ramps itself, but then also Magnezone ramps itself. Listen, everybody's getting energy here. It's fantastic. It's honestly great. Magnezone one-taps Silvally, Oricorio shuts down EXs, and Zeraora just ramps for itself so you can take the time to give energy to something else. We also have Cyrus, Giovanni, Lilies to work with your Magnezone, Mars for disruption, and a Nurse Joy. Double capes. This deck works wonderfully. Honestly, a lot better than the Tapu Koko EX. Yeah, no, listen, somebody had to say it. This Tapu Koko EX, just the HP is a little too low. Magnezone is still amazing. Anything that generates energy for itself in this game that only lets you use 1 energy per turn is leagues above everything else. That's my opinion, and I feel like I might be right there. Now let's move on to, I believe, 3 deck lists that got 1 first place winnings for themselves. And this one is for a video that I just uploaded. I think, yeah, before this video is going up, go look at my channel, the video of me playing this. Fantastic. I thought this would be great into Silvally. Turns out it's great into literally everything. Buzzwole, Guzzlord, like Oricorio, Zeraora. It is fantastic, and I love these spicy deck lists. You have your double Ghastlies and your double Gengars with Bother, the move Bother, because I love bothering people with the way I pronounce Gengar. That just rolled off the tongue. That's perfect. We also have Giratina here, EX, because that's going to be your heavy hitter. You have a Haunter in case you don't find your rare candies, and your Tapu Lele, which just damages something on the board that has energy already attached to it. Now, the other cards that I find fantastic in this is Giant Cape on your Gengar. It helps you survive a Rampardos attack, but also Giovanni boosts the damage. Nurse Joy heals you as well as the Lily, which is fantastic. And then the Mars for disruption, Chef's Kiss. Like I said, I played this. I did get lucky by dodging Silvally's, but pleasantly surprised to see this do very well into literally everything else. So you guys might want to play this too. In ranked, if you will. I did. Next up is Guzzlord EX, which surprisingly only 1 person got first place with this. Double Celesteelas, a single Nihiligio. They're running the Beast type, which is fantastic because, again, it turns the Tyrannical Hole into 140 damage if you already have 2 points. Same thing as the Buzzwole deck list. They have a double Louisamines here, which you have to pay attention to. You can only use it unless your opponent has 1 point. You have a Disruption with Mars, double Poison Barbs, double Nurse Joys, and another Disruption with Red Card. Some would say this deck is extremely toxic. And that brings us to our final deck list in today's video. Decidueye and Pheromosa. Fantastic. I love this thing. I knew it was going places. I just wish it went to first place even more than it did. Only 1 first place winning deck list. It's not that bad. Still made it. Still made it. Decidueye and Pheromosa. The thing about this is Pheromosa tags the opposing bench for 20. You get your energy on, your owl, you rare candy, and you pierce the pain, and you win the game. Oh my god, that rhymed. I'm fantastic. But there you guys have it. These are all the first place winning deck lists. Let me know which one of these are your favorite. Which one of these are you sick of? Silvally Rampardos. Who said that? That's crazy. But there you guys have it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Later.